There we go. Now my mic's working. Hello, hi. Hello. It is... I come to you today, slightly nauseous. Not realizing what time of the month it is, even though I try to track things very clearly. Sometimes you're like, man, why do I feel like garbage? But then you remember the date and you're like, oh, that's why. But aside from that, I'm fine. I'm fine. I just kind of feel a little garbagey for reasons that just happen to happen, honestly. But one of the reasons it took me so long to get started is because apparently I have chosen the world's juiciest orange. I was just peeled an orange real quick before I got on stream, and I never have a hard time peeling oranges, and yet this one made a mess of my desk, truly and genuinely. But as you can see today, there is no roulette wheel. I'm only just really trying to attempt a comic here. That's really the purpose of this. I don't have a lot of experience with comics. As a matter of fact, I say that I really don't have any. I tried to do a few, and they came out honestly pretty bad. But I am going to use Whumptober to try and work on that. I am trying to illustrate the moment where Connie and Nate's brotherly relationship truly fell apart. Because Connie and Nate were once very close, but now things are starting to fall apart because Nate is kind of an asshole, truly. And Nate, who's the short one here, this is Nate. And his brother Constantine, who we're gonna call Jack or Connie. Nate calls him Connie. So Nate, while he has every reason to turn on his family because they're not great people, Nate isn't necessarily a great person himself, and decides that he is going to make his own money and make his own way in things, which is fine, but the way he wants to make his money is by selling trucks. And Connie, who's already essentially running a fight club and beating people up because he can, isn't super keen on that, because it's one thing to run a fight club, it's another thing to get people to mule drugs for you and have them get killed in the meantime. There's a whole intricate backstory to this. Just know that in this case, Connie is really mad at Nate. That's all we need to know at this point. I'm going to get rid of my face. There we go. And we are going to try and focus on the art here. One thing I am not super fond of in this music is that you can absolutely hear the phone. That it's either the phone of the person in the song, recording the song, you can hear their phone ringing, or it's a part of the song, and both prospects are equally depressing. We're gonna have his hair falling apart, because Nate's hair is often very nicely gelled. But the only person he is truly scared of is his brother. And this moment will seriously dampen their friendship. I mean, will seriously dampen their relationship. I really don't think there should be a difference there. I think I need to do something different with his nose, though. His face isn't that tilted that far up, super honestly. So let's do a new layer. Let's make this clear. Hello, Anonymous. How are you? Alright. Dang. CSP is really trying to give me a run for my money today. Like, his head isn't tilted that far up. That's what I'm having trouble with. Noses have always been, like, a thing for me, and I don't really know why. Okay. I like your drawing so far. Thank you. I am okay. I am feeling a little woozy because, I feel a bit of a flare-up coming on. But, I think I'll be fine. I'm eating an orange. I've got a ginger ale close, so. Let's see. Problem is, I am always struggling with noses, and I'm trying to find exactly how to draw them. I'm trying to look at a reference and also forgetting that it should be. It's funny, I'm drawing something while listening to this live stream. Awesome! I'm gonna do like Brian David Gilbert. Watch this while you do your art. Is what his streams are called. Yeah, I'm trying to find... Are you doing Whumptober, Anonymous? Because this is actually the first time I have done anything like this. No, just drawing Western OCs. Ah! Yeah, Connie and Nate are actually OCs as well. I'm finally I'm trying to get back to a lot of the original characters. A lot of my original characters, for some reason, came from dreams, because I have very vivid ones. I remember one day someone was like, well, that's just a sign that you're very imaginative. And I was like, that's also a sign that I have terrible insomnia. Now, what do you mean by Western? Do you mean Western as in the genre? I did Inktober a long time ago, but looking back, it was exhausting. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm doing anything close to Inktober. I think some of these are definitely going to be sketches. Like, the first day was definitely like a full-out sort of thing, but I think this one is just going to have to be, a sketch. As in they live in a Western setting. Okay, cool. I used to love Westerns as a kid, but my dad definitely, overdosed on them as a kid. And now, every holiday, it's like, he's like, oh, we could watch Outlaw Josie Wales, and it's like, no. No, Dad. We're not watching Outlaw Josie Wales for the millionth time this Christmas. We're not doing it. I have 4 now, but I have 5. Ooh. So what's the story with these guys? Tell me a little more about them. Actually, I think this nose will do. Like, super honestly. I think I might have done Nate's nose justice here. Let's go back to the original layer. And then... and take care of this real quick. Basically got the idea through the Dark Tower. Now, if I recall correctly, that was a, I want to say, Stephen King YA book. I actually am not upset about the way his nose looks. I thought I would be, but I don't hate it. I'll probably hate it if I think about it for too long. But I'm not super mad at it. The idea I have is that there's a young raccoon lady cowgirl who is hunting down some sort of evil guy about her past. While doing this, she meets other people from different towns. Okay. Now are we talking like morally gray, or like, are we talking like revenge, like a revenge narrative? Because I love me a revenge narrative, just saying. I think the problem... revenge narrative. Gotcha. I think what's bothering me about his face is that it's not short enough for his face to be... Okay, cancel. Cancel. I think that's what's bothering me about his face, is that it's too long. So maybe this will make me feel a little bit better. Actually, that proportion does look a lot better. Because this is the first time ever he's actually looked up at his brother. Because Connie is shorter than him. But Connie, at this moment, is also kind of ready to beat the... Connie is shorter than him, but Connie is stronger than him. She's trying to stop it. Ooh. That sounds juicy. I like that. Because it's not just personal. You know, and there is a potential of something, you know, bigger and badder. Like, she also has a purpose that is bigger than her. Can I ask what characters you're drawing? Are they your own? Yeah. Yeah, Connie and Nate are, from a, I wouldn't say mafia story, more just flat-out organized crime, based off of the, based off of a very large crime family in the 90s, simply called the Family. Once RICO charges became a thing, they kind of fell apart. They kind of fell apart because, you know, their boss went down, and many of them didn't want to go to jail, so they just kind of skipped town and left. But there was this guy I used to live next to, when I lived in Texas, back when I was a kid. And my dad would always be like, yeah, he's a cool guy, but, like, don't listen to any of his stories. A lot of his stories are not things that kids should hear. And, I mean, he seemed like a nice guy. He sold turquoise jewelry at a local farmer's market in town. And I found out that he was actually a part of this outfit. And oddly enough, I had this dream that was, I guess, based off of that based off of that story as a kid, and it kind of just grew from there because I love, excuse me, I love movies like The Raid. You've probably seen my Raid reaction on the channel, but I love movies like that. Ong Bak, The Raid, hell, even Fast and Furious. But, I love stories like that. And so I took, essentially, the stories I remember him telling me as a kid that, thinking back, were like, when he was talking about, like, special gifts for his friends, he definitely meant, like, gambling money. Like, thinking back, I was like, that man had absolutely done crime in his past, and was just, like, being coy about it so he wouldn't piss my parents off. And, like, he wouldn't draw the ire of the parents in the, draw the ire of the parents in the neighborhood. I mean, to be fair, he had a daughter of his own, who, I used to play with. If I recall correctly, her name was Karina. Okay, yeah, he is supposed to be wearing a turtleneck of some kind. And he wears another shirt. And it's kind of collared. I don't know if I want to draw that, though. That's pretty cool. Not like a good thing, but it's pretty interesting. Yeah. Unfortunately, he did recently pass away. To be fair, he was 90. Yes. Yes, I am. And I'm also incorporating a bit of my own, like, family experiences with this, because recently, before, like, literally a week before I met my husband, and this is like 5 or 6 years ago, I had a huge falling out with a relative I was, like, once close to. And at first, I thought it was over, like, something as simple as money. But it turns out it was actually, like, much worse than any of us thought it was. And it turned out that this person was trying to extort people, for lack of a better word. And, you know, it was, I kind of had to, like, make a deal with them, like, hey, listen, I'm not gonna snitch on you, but, like, you can't keep doing this. And they did not like that I said that. They were eventually caught and sussed out. But when I said that I wouldn't support them in their somewhat criminal endeavors, I was just like, I can't do that, you know? That's not right. But, when I basically said that I wouldn't support them doing that, they told everyone that I refused to help them and that they were really struggling with money, and told people all these kinds of stories that, you know, ended us, unfortunately, just sort of ending our relationship. I still see them occasionally at, like, family gatherings and stuff, but we don't talk like we used to. So some of this story was coping with that. But, they're not nearly as bad as Nate. Nate sucks. And Nate is the scared-looking guy here. So, this is Nate. Hang on. Are you guys okay? Not really, but, you know, it is what it is. Not in that aspect. I do feel that we are close to a reconciliation, but it's not gonna happen, like, in the next year. But yeah, this guy is Nate. And let me see if I can scroll. This guy is Connie. Connie is not that good of a person in his own right, but, he's not nearly as bad as Nate. I'm tempted to give Nate some facial hair, but I'm terrible at drawing facial hair. But there is a bright side to the story. So, you know, after the falling out, I was kind of stuck in my apartment, and I was sort of feeling sorry for myself, and I decided to get out of the house, because I was like, I can't just sit here and be sad. I've got to do something. And so I went to a local game shop. And I ended up getting sort of into this D&D game by accident. Well, not really by accident. I intended to, but I didn't realize who was running it. And it was a small child. And he was getting kind of flustered. And this guy, who could really sense that he was getting really upset. I mean, he wasn't getting upset. And this guy, who could kind of sense that the kid was getting really upset, sort of, like, came in and was like, I'm gonna help this kid. He was really sweet and understanding, and the kid was like, well, I wanted to do this with the dragon. He's like, okay, so there. And he kind of coached the kid through the game, and we ended up having a lot of fun, and then that guy invited me to his Wednesday game because one of the members of his group just left. And that person, about 6 months later, I ended up dating, and that person is now my husband. So, there is a silver lining to the story. She fit into this. I'm drawing a cat bounty hunter named Jackie. Ooh. You know what's funny? Jack and Jackie is actually Connie's nickname. Because their dad used to call him a jack of all trades. You play D&D, I've wins, but I've never got to. But it counts. Ooh. Fun fact, have never actually played Final Fantasy VII on my own. It has either been with my older brother, or with a friend, or not at all. Even though I do have a soft spot for Cloud Strife, have never really played the games on their own. I tried to do Remake, but at the time, my PS4 was really, really dirty, and the game would just randomly turn off. So it was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not playing this today. We did eventually clean it. I'll probably play it on the new system, but... Okay. Oh, she doesn't like the polygons? A lot of people don't these days. I will say that was like the best games that ever looked back in the day. But I get why people don't like the polygons now. There are a lot of people who can't stand to look at Minecraft for the very same reason. But yeah, for the originals, those games weren't that good. I mean, those games could be a little difficult to look at, no matter how nostalgic people are about them. Like, as much as I am not a huge fan of whatever that dude is, I forget his name. I forget his name. But, like, games like Ocarina of Time and Castlevania Nocturne and like a lot of the N64 games, a lot of N64 games were just kind of ugly. I know that's a PlayStation 1 game. I know it's a PlayStation 1 game, but some of the games in the 90s that I grew up with really did not look that good. Even though they were very fun to play. But, you know, and some of them were stylistically, that makes sense, but you gotta give credit. The games make backgrounds look great. Yes! Yes, I would still say, even though the Ocarina of Time, Temple of Time, is just like a JPEG, it's still very iconic. Because it really looks like, but yeah, I believe that's a painted background. Now, I could be wrong. I might be talking out of my ass, but... let's see... You know what? I think I'm gonna leave off... the jacket. Because then that means I have... Well, no, I drew it over here. Damn it! I guess I'm drawing the friggin' jacket. Okay. Because what I'm gonna do, if it wasn't for these games, we wouldn't have the games we do now. Exactly. Like, the gaming industry has a lot of things wrong with it, for sure. But, they do provide hours of fun. Now, if only they could find... if only they could find hours of employment for their developers. Because, man, gaming developer jobs are not easy to come by now. I think this was the year with the most layoffs ever, if I recall correctly. I'm not really into gaming news necessarily, but I know it has been bad. Okay. I don't play too many video games, or this might become my favorite. Aww. It's always good to appreciate the classics, despite what I just said about them. look up this man's trench coat then. Trench coat. So the thing about Aerith is, for a while, they definitely tried to make her, like, you know, the shy and retiring ingenue. Like, for lack of a better word, they definitely tried to make her waifu for a while, even though people forget in the original Final Fantasy VII game, she's a little bit crazy. Like, she's a little bit, like, out there. And the remake definitely took to heart that, you know, a small town girl who's never really traveled suddenly being down to hit things with a stick has gotta be a little bit, you know, just a little bit hype. She's gotta be just a little bit hype. So I really appreciate what they did with her in the remake. Not so much in Kingdom Hearts. In Kingdom Hearts, they couldn't get Mandy Moore back, so they tried their best. I think that's honestly one of the reasons they took a lot of the. I think that's one of the reasons they took a lot of the Final Fantasy characters out is because a lot of the actors were just like, not again. That's an exaggeration, clearly, but they didn't do the best job with her in Kingdom Hearts. But I don't think they could have helped it. Because if I recall correctly, they did originally have Mandy Moore to do her voice, and Mandy Moore, I believe, I think she got into some sort of terrible accident, if I recall correctly, and could never record her lines. Because she didn't act again for a good long time after that. I'm really thinking about this jacket. She's awesome. Yeah, I love Aerith and Tifa. Super honestly. I don't know if you've ever played the Tales series, but there is this game called Tales of Exilia, which is one of my favorite Tales games, which is kind of an unpopular opinion. But I don't really plan to. No offense to Kingdom Hearts. No, Kingdom Hearts is kind of old hat these days. I hate to admit it, but it really is. Like, Kingdom Hearts definitely doesn't have the staying power it used to. And I honestly don't think it ever will because of what happened with Kingdom Hearts 3. But Tifa reminds me of the main character of, Tales of Exilia, whose name is Jude Mathis. And it's so funny because Jude is such a sweetheart. Like, he's so kind. They even call him a do-gooder. Like, oh, it's do-gooder Jude. Like, he was in med school. He was always known for, like, being a bit of a narc and always wanting to do the right thing, a bit of an overachiever. However, he also beats the shit out of monsters with his fists. Like, that just reminds me of Tifa so much. Like, she's a business owner, everybody knows her, everybody loves her, she's such a sweetheart. However, you can also catch these hands. Okay. And The second panel is just a close-up of his face, honestly. Wait, what's happening? It's this layer, so why can't I... Okay. In Kingdom Hearts, that is. Yeah. No, I get it. That's where it's at. Tough ones with Heart of Gold. Yep. That's exactly right. So let me do this. Let me get rid of this layer. Keep that layer. Take this layer. Merge them both. And then go back to this layer. Hit copy. Then take the transformation tool. Drag this over here. Nope, that didn't work. Apply transformation. No. What are we doing? It's this layer, right? No? Yes. So then what's the problem then? Oh, that's what the problem is. Okay, I see. Never mind. Never mind. False alarm. Okay, there. I figured it out. Yeah, her hands are rated E for everyone. Yeah, that's exactly why I love those characters. Now, here's the question. Do I want to do this, or do I want to bring this down? Like he's shrinking. Because then you see the close-up of his eyes, and then Connie, like him looking for any sort of sympathy in Connie's eyes and finding none. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Because then that would give me an opportunity to... Not necessarily mean... I think I might do that. Not necessarily mean. Well, here's the thing. Like... Here's the thing, though. If someone is, like... I think it makes sense. Well, like, the thing is... Like, if a character is just kind of, like, beaten down... When they're not necessarily mean, but they can be cold or curt. Like, not necessarily mean, but, like, rude, if that makes sense. Kind of like an old... This is gonna sound kind of weird, but kind of like an old person who's necessarily, like, a kind person, but, like, they don't like to be bothered, so usually they're, like, pretty rude. Okay, yes. Handle that. And then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna erase a portion of his mouth and open it wider. Actually, I'll bring it up. Don't worry, I am gonna fix the texture issues. It's not gonna look fuzzy the whole time. And, like, he's really pleading to him at this point. If you've ever seen, Myers Crossing. I can't die! I can't die out here in the woods! To be honest, I actually hate that movie. Miller's Crossing, not Myers Crossing. there is a part of Nate that has always been a little scared of Connie, because he knows more than anyone what he's capable of. Because Connie is like the character you mentioned earlier, your character Vix. Connie is... To say that Connie is a good person would be a misinterpretation. But he doesn't revel in unnecessary violence. So, when he does have to take care of things with violence, he is often scarily efficient. And at the moment, and that's what he calls dealing with complications. And at the moment, Nate realizes that he is a complication. No, that's a little too little forehead. Yeah, so he's not necessarily... That's the thing. Connie does not waste time. So he needs to do he's not crazy. Yes. Unlike his little brother, Nate, who, kind of wants to do a lot of crazy shit to make the family more money. Okay. I immediately am having a hard time with this here. That's because his part is all the way over here. Forgot about that. Yeah, kinda like Mordecai. Kinda. This might have to be something that's figured out eventually, because it's not coming together the way I want it to. Maybe I'll just get rid of Nate's sideburns for now to keep them from looking dumb. This isn't really violent. He honestly tries not to get involved. Yeah. That sounds nice. Like she gets a little support system, a little found family. Oof. I already knew this hair was going to be a nightmare. Nate's hair is always a nightmare. Now he looks like Dylan B. Hollis. Just him yelling, "Synonym!" I actually saw that he's going back to, like, reviewing cars, which is cool. I know that's where his real passion lies. I mean, not to say that he doesn't love cooking, but, his channel was originally, like, car content. because he knows a lot about, like, old Buicks and stuff. Looks good, looks good. Thank you! I might just put a speech bubble over it if it makes me too mad. Okay, but I think that's good. I think these first 2 frames are okay. The textures are fucking me up a little bit, but I think it's alright. So we'll leave a little space for his pupils. But these guys actually have a sister named Maria, who is in charge of their little criminal outfit. And Maria and Nate actually don't really get along. Whereas Connie and Maria are very close. So for a long time, Connie has been like the mediator between them, especially when they started joining the family business. So this is in a way, Nate takes this as him choosing Maria over him. And that's not necessarily true. Connie's just really mad at him at this moment. Like, he's not really choosing anyone. He's just really mad that Nate almost got him shot. And it's not even the first time Nate almost got him shot. Just could show you some of my drawing. I'm just incredibly self-conscious about it. Yeah, kind of, in a way. But listen, I mean, it's you will show people your art when you are ready. There's no time limit. There's no time limit or anything like that. You will show people when you are ready. You should, try not to get people shot. Yeah, exactly. In this moment, like, he really does have a good reason to be really fucking mad. And Connie is a very calm person, But yeah, this is definitely like this is definitely Nate's final strike. They're in a place called, and when you do, I'm sure it'll be beautiful, And then when you're ready, you can drop it in the Discord whenever I clean it up. I desperately need to clean that. I desperately need to clean up my Discord. Because it is a mess right now. There are a lot of, like, social media things that I need to do. Like, actually post. I tell you guys to follow my Instagram in almost every video. And I don't think I've updated my Instagram since 2 Dragon Cons ago. And that was pre-pandemic. Alright, now let's do the eyes. We'll do Connie's last. But right now I really want to finish Nate's. Yeah, that's one thing, though, is that Nate is not good at his job. Being the youngest of their family, he is definitely favored the most by their mother. And, he actually resents this a little bit. Because he feels like he's being coddled compared to Connie and especially Maria, who their mother is particularly hard on because she will be taking over the family business. And their mother kind of gives him a pass on screwing up real bad, and he sort of uses the other two as like she sort of tells the other two to like, hey, you know, don't tell him how bad this went south. Just tell him to keep his mouth shut next time, and then things will be better. And then it doesn't get better because Nate's bad at his job. So, yeah, it's... Unfortunately, because it's a mafia story, the story does not end very happily. Connie has a lot of other things going on, rather than his situation with Nate here. He has a not boyfriend who's engaged. And he really, really shouldn't. So Nate is pathetic, and he wants to prove himself in some way, and he keeps screwing up. While I understand why he hates the coddling, I can see why. Yeah. Like, it is kind of, the story is kind of, everyone sucks, in a way. Because Nate could be much better at his job. Well, that's the thing, they do. They give him lots of things to do. And it's, except for fixing bets, because it requires numbers, and that's what he's good at, almost all of it goes south. Because he likes to run his mouth. Hang on, I'm getting a text. Oh. That was Husbando in the other room saying that he's in a meeting. So, I should hop across the room and... Yeah, we both work from home, so... It's nice, but also sometimes it's like we live in the same house but don't get to see each other because sometimes we're focusing on two different things. He's also a talker, yeah. Nate is... Like, it's a shame, because there are a lot of things that he is genuinely good at, but he just runs his mouth because he feels so inadequate next to Maria and Connie, who have, like, their own individual reputations. So, while, you know, his brother and sister have really intimidating nicknames, and excuse me, and like reputations that people take seriously. People call him King Chatterbox or Crybaby Motormouth. Which, back in my day, Crybaby Motormouth was actually a nickname of someone I knew. But that was supposed to be a complimentary nickname somehow. Don't ask me why, it doesn't sound complimentary, but they took it as a compliment, and everyone said it like a compliment. So, it never made sense to me, but they liked it, so I'm not gonna tell them not to. I love Mafia stuff. And the thing is, I used to really love it, and I don't know why I ever got away from it. Like, I'm one of those people that actually, like, sat down to read Godfather. I might have to rethink Connie's eyes here for a little bit, because they look a little Looney Tune-ish. Let me see. Connie is based off of Goliath from... He's based off of Goliath from Gargoyles, so... Let's give a look-see. Yeah. His eyes need to look a little more like eyes. Oh, okay, hang on. I am going to use the same thing I did with both of these eyes earlier. And that was the symmetry ruler. So where is it? Oh, whoops. There we go. Where's the symmetry ruler? There it is. Straighten this picture up. Yeah, so Nate really doesn't have the best reputation in his social circle. Two characters, siblings, both bunnies named Letitia. Oh, I love the name Letitia. Actually, hang on. I think I'm still screwing up on the eyes here. Trying to find official art of Goliath. And I can't. Okay, there we go. This honestly feels more Looney Tune-ish. This honestly feels like it's even worse. Let's see. There we go. Kill the curve. Better. Tisha, Loretta works at the time library. It's very sweet. She's not rude. Aw, Loretta sounds sweet though. So Letitia's kind of like the Greta Garbo type, right? Or wait, was that Ingrid Bergman? No, that was Ingrid Bergman. Not Greta Garbo. If you're familiar with the Looney Tunes, Greta Garbo is the actress that a lot of the sexy cats are based on. The "Why don't you come up and see me sometime?" Yeah, I like this one a bit better. But there's one angle that I want to Okay. And let's work on the eyebrows again. Because once again, Connie is super fucking mad. Actually, yeah, no, that doesn't look nearly as bad as I thought. Alright, let's get rid of the symmetry ruler. And then let's make them slightly larger. Let's fill out the frame. Some things we gotta get rid of, like that. And then let's just have this. Have it cut off a little by Connie's hair. Maybe not straight down the pupil. That's distracting. Let's do it like this. Yeah, better. Because there also needs to be the same same thing. Let me put it in the right place. Here. There we go. Alright. Sister, so much. Aw, that's sweet! It's like your sister wanted to be in the story. Alright. Oh, whoops. Wait. Oh, crap. I am on the wrong layer. That explains why it looks weird. Actually, you know what I should have done? I'm gonna keep that, but I'm also gonna keep some of the eye lines. We'll see. That looks weird. Oh, it looks weird because it's too thin. Because technically, it's supposed to connect here. So his nose would be this way. Connie's nose is pretty big. So... still not wide enough. I am not on the wrong layer. Oh! I know what happened here. Dumb. That was dumb. Okay. I figured it out. So, weird question of the day. What's the strangest name you've made up for a starter Pokemon in the Pokemon game? You know, I actually wasn't into Pokemon like that when I was a kid. I mean, I liked it. And I did collect cards, but what I was into Digimon. And I was gonna have my own my own partner Digimon called Lunamon, and Lunamon was going to be a kitty like Gatomon, but also like a moon kitty like the kitty from Sailor Moon, and then Lunamon was going to become like Tigrismon or something like that, and I was gonna have like a gun cat as a partner Digimon. Now a gun cat as a partner Digimon, not super unusual. But I was still like, I shit you not, I was making Digivices out of like paper mache and cardboard. I bought a Digivice at the store. Beefsteak like the tomato. Or, you know, like the steak. But yeah, oh god, that brings back so many memories. Jeez. Luna was the only word I knew in Latin. So I used it like I used it a lot because I thought it made me sound super smart. Yeah, she was gonna be a moon kitty like Sailor Moon, but also an angel kitty like Gatomon. Okay, that's also a gun. Listen, that is so common. So common in Digimon. I kid you not. There are so many... In Digimon, there are so many characters that are animal, but gun. Also, hello, Katrine. Yeah, but in Digimon, there are so many characters that are animal, but gun. There is even literally... And there was literally, if I recall correctly, a metal monster that was called Machine Dramon. Actually, let me show you. I have to type this in now. I have to show you now. Oh, it's Mugendramon. Sorry, that's the Japanese name, the proper name for it. Let's see. Trying to show you a picture that... Okay, yeah, here it is. Because as I tell you this story of Mesindramon, it's gonna get better and better. Let me show you this masterpiece of a creature. Okay, it's gonna take a while for it to load. Yeah, this is gonna take a second. Sorry. I forgot exactly how many pictures I have saved on this computer. Okay. Let me show you. I don't know if you guys watch Drawfee, but they have talked about this Digimon before. And Mesindramon is literally just a dinosaur with bazookas on his back. I'm good, sorry you're late. Staying aboard late. Okay. Listen, no, it's no problem. You take care of you. Go to the grocery store. I mean, I was a little late too. But yeah, this is Mesindramon. And if you want to know, like, the lore about Digimon, so Digimon, the original series, has, like, if I recall correctly, 4 distinct arcs. There's the Devimon arc. Then there is the arc where they go to the continent of Server, and then they get sent back home somehow. And then they get sent back home somehow, and there is this whole arc where they fight Myotismon in the real world, and then they have to return back to the digital world where decades have passed, and the literal 4 horsemen of the apocalypse have arrived and have taken over the digital world. And Mesindramon is the 4 horsemen of famine. I shit you not. Let me get rid of this guy, because, God. And of course, in the Sabin Fox Kids version, they don't tell you that. I eventually just found that out. Animating gets so wild, yeah. It really, really can. I'm not a huge fan of the newer ones, mostly because I don't like how they portray some of the kids, frankly. I feel like if they wanted to make Tai the leader of the Digimon, I feel like of, like, the Digidestin, they could have made him, I don't know, just say what he means sometimes. I know that's more of a cultural thing, but if he's supposed to be courageous, then let him be courageous. Or if he's supposed to, you know, be a coward, that has to come to his courage, like, has to get that character development, then make him, like, an actual coward, not just a passive observer. But I'm not gonna get too passionate about it. It's whatever. I feel like after the original creator of Digimon died, Bandai just kind of decided to do what they wanted to do with it. I also watched Drawfee. Yeah, Karina is really into Digimon. And she knows, like, all the lore about it. Like, Beelzemon and Impmon are not even in this season. That's the Digimon Tamer season. Which doesn't have, like, Tai and Agumon and stuff. As a matter of fact... oh, Jesus. As a matter of fact, the person who made Digimon Tamers also made not Vampire Hunter D, made Hellsing. The anime Hellsing. Yes, Tiger and Bunny is a good one. I like Tiger and Bunny better than I like My Hero Academia. To be honest, I never really liked My Hero Academia that much, but, you know. By that time, I had kind of grown out of shonen. I'm more of a Josei fan these days. I just got distracted by Food Wars. See, I can't get into Food Wars. I can't get into Food Wars. Especially when, as someone who has served as a cook for several years, I understand that the noises are for comedic effect. Helsing the Unrated One, yes. I understand those sounds are made for comedic effect, but people actually do sound like that when they try different food. And it's like, other people are eating. Some people really do sound like that. And it's like, I need you to cease. There's a lot of When Harry Met Sally happening. That reminds me, oh my goodness, that reminds me of something that actually happened at work. And that reminds me of something that actually happened at work. So I worked at a big touristy hotel back when I was a cook. We were doing a bridal tasting for a group, and it was a really large group, and they were very nice, very kind people, and they tipped me even though they didn't really have to. The mother of the bride was, I guess, really enjoying. No, I don't think it was the mother of the bride. I think it was the maid of honor. The maid of honor was really enjoying the selections we chose for them to eat. And, I mean, she was really into it. And every time, you know, every time she ate, she would go, "Oh my god, this is so good." I mean, sorry, I'm gushing. I'm such a foodie. And, you know, everyone just kind of laughed it off. And one of the people that they brought happened to be her boyfriend, who I believe was like the brother of the groom or something. He was some guy, somebody related to the groom in some way. I don't think he was a groomsman though. I think he was there because he was family. And it was the flourless chocolate cake. Because they wanted an alternate dessert. And they wanted an alternate dessert, because while they wanted a wedding cake, they also wanted a cake that could be enjoyed by people who couldn't have gluten dessert. So, she tries it, and she's like, oh my god, this is so good. And she looks me full in my face, and she says, "This is better than sex." And, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. And almost without hesitation, I would have to say without any hesitation, because it came out of my mouth involuntarily. I said, I looked at her boyfriend, and I said, I looked at her boyfriend, I said, "Then you better handle your business." Now, everyone thought it was funny at the time. But when I thought about it, I was like, why did I say that? And, like, the sous chef came up to me after that. He was like, "What the hell was that? Why did you say that?" And I was like, "I don't know." I'm just glad they thought it was a joke, because could you imagine what would have happened if everyone stopped laughing? Like, could you imagine Oh god, it would have been so embarrassing. I was just really, really glad that everyone took that as a joke. I said, oh, then you better handle your business. Exactly in that exact tone of voice. Such a great and terrible answer at the same time. Oh god. Oh, Jeff never let me live it down either. Because, like, he was like, I don't know, are you ready to come with me? Because I don't know if you're gonna run at the mouth again. And be like, listen, it was an accident. It won't happen again. And it didn't. Well, that's not true. It happened one other time, but she was being really rude. And eventually, the banquet coordinator from the hotel fired her as a client. So. That was just a typical run-of-the-mill... Actually, I was gonna say bridezilla, but I don't think it was a bride thing. I think it was a retirement party, and she was really rude to one of the people who, like, showed her the action stations, because he didn't necessarily speak the best English. And I was like, if he needs to go back to his country to learn how to speak English, then you need to go back to school and learn your manners. And she swore up and down that she was gonna get me written up for that. She never did. Mostly because the chef that was running the bit didn't like her. Doesn't help that my favorite dessert is at Mira's is their flourless chocolate cake. Listen, flourless chocolate cake is delicious. My mom has celiac disease, so we actually eat it quite a lot. Yeah, we eat flourless chocolate cake a lot. And it's really good, especially if you have it with, like... Especially if you have it with a dollop of, like, fresh cream and, some, like, raspberry. That's always a good choice. Okay, here's the problem. Connie's nose does not look real. That looks a little less real, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's get rid of all these sketch lines and I can make more sense of this. I really should not be drawing his face like this. I really should be drawing on another layer on top of the sketch. But, I've already made it this far. Why would I be talking sense at this point? Actually, I think it just proves something to myself. I think this is a better alternative to other cake. Okay. I think I am going to make this lighter and then redraw Connie's face. So we'll label this bottom panel sketch. And then bottom panel ink. Because I think I just proved my own point. It's okay, has... Is that normal? Or is it just trying to get my attention? That was weird. Huh, never mind. Forget I said anything. You know what I need to do? I need to make some custom, I need to make some custom emoticons. I think I'll, like, put my skulls. What books are on your wish list? Here's the thing. My book wish list is to actually finish Call of Lightning. I still haven't finished it. It has taken me so long to finish it. Originally, what I was doing is I would listen to it while I would work on my cosplay, right? But the problem is, when I start really, really, really working on something, more often than not, I need, like, silence. Because then I can't, like, I feel like I can't hear well. So, more often than not, what'll happen is I'll start off listening, and then I'll just turn it off. So, my goal is to actually finish, the Call of the Lightning. Actually. Yeah, Connie's really mad. Also need to do a little plastic surgery on my dude here. Open his mouth a little bit, and then bring it back. There we go. Yeah, jaw was a little bit messed up. That's fine, though. He's a big dude, so his jaw isn't that strong. I've been reading Stephen King. This is the second book in Dark Tower. Yeah, you were talking about the Dark Tower earlier. Now, if you want to talk about people who read a lot, my mother is an avid reader, and she works with a lot of younger teachers, and a lot of those teachers are into like A Court of Thorns and Roses, I think is what it's called. And she read it. She really isn't that into it, though. She blew through them pretty fast, and found that she wasn't necessarily a fan, but the girls at work were so happy that she read it, and she was like, yeah, it was good, but she wasn't really into it. See, now he doesn't look angry enough to me. Because my mother, once again, who's an avid reader, she's into a whole bunch of different stuff. She wasn't super fond of Dune either. She said it was very dense, and she didn't like reading it on the plane. Especially, she said that, as she was... I still feel like he does not look angry enough. Like, am I being weird? I feel like he's not angry enough. I need to quit being loud. Because husband is in the other room having a meeting. Like, I just feel like I just feel... That feels better. A little sloppier, but better. Yeah, I've been trying to get back into fanfiction, because I'm still writing my history of fanfiction video. But I just haven't been feeling it lately. I think it's because I'm not really into anything new. Like, usually my safe spot is, Zelda fanfiction, and my opinion on Linked Universe, as much as I do like it, has changed of late. So, I'm not saying that it's bad, I'm just saying that there's a specific kind of people that, that it's drawing, and I'm not exactly sure how I feel about making content for those people, if that makes sense. And I'm not the only person who's noticed it either. People have been bringing this up, and I believe the artist themselves brought it up in a podcast. But, actually, you know, it just really looks like he's bullying him instead of being actually, like, deeply angry. I had an idea. Ooh. Kid Icarus and Zelda. Huh. Maybe if I start putting shadows on his eyes, I'll be more convinced. Because right now, Connie really just does not look angry enough. Kind of like my beef with... Everyone should have beef with Lovecraft. I was gonna say, everyone should have beef with Lovecraft. Like, when the guy who was on the wrong side of Plessy versus Ferguson tells you to tone down the racism, maybe, just maybe, you need to tone down the racism. Like... Okay, they do have the same nose. They are brothers. Actually, his eyebrows are different here. Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. What were you thinking about the Zelda and Kid Icarus? This Chun is a bit more pronounced than Connie's. And he also has a better jawline because he's skinnier than him. You know what? The more I look at this, the more I'm really not mad at it. Let me try something real quick. Because I think I want him to look a little more defiant. Also, good lord, that is a long jawline. Goodness. I know some people have those, but good gravy. Good gravy, Nathan. Aww. Okay, let's see. Let's leave some room for the chin. I think I'm actually gonna have Nathan a little bit more defiant here. There we go. That makes me feel a lot better. That's cute, though. I like that idea. Also, I feel like Palutena would be, particularly invested in helping a queen return to her throne. I always have a habit of making Connie's hair too puffy. If I feel inclined, I'll bring it down, but not right now. It really does, but I don't see it getting one anytime soon, which is unfortunate. There are lots of games that Nintendo is willing to do, but if you've noticed, they're really, really holding off on any big announcements until they release the Switch 2. And I think because Sony and Xbox are kind of fucking up real bad right now, I think what they're planning on doing, now this is just a shot in the dark, I think what they're planning on doing is essentially having, like, a list of maybe 10 or more main titles to open with the Switch 2. That's not a guess. I mean, that's just a guess. I'm not saying that's something that can actually happen. But I'm saying that I think they are trying to have a huge selection of games to open with the Switch 2, because they know it's going to be a hard sell. I mean, Zelda is... Breath of the Wild is what got Nintendo's foot in the door in the first place. Especially after what happened to Iwata. Alright. There's gonna be a Switch 2, supposedly. I personally don't think they need one, but, you know. Because there are lots of things that people get from Nintendo these days that they just can't get from anything, any other console these days. Like, seriously. Like, I can't think of the last time someone actually played Persona games on a system. Or, like, maybe that's the wrong way to put it. I cannot think of a popular console release that hasn't been even more popular on PC. Because, as we speak, Final Fantasy 16 is immediately outselling the not Persona 5, the PlayStation 5 release. So, like, I don't know. I don't see how any other console company could be even close to even close to what Nintendo is doing. Like, there are still games I want to play on my PS5, like Unicorn Overload, Metaphor ReFantazio, all those games. I do want to play those games, but, like, six months later, they are going to be on PC. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 was a PC game. It wasn't originally released on a system. As a matter of fact, it's kind of clunky on a system. So right now, I'm not sure if any other company can beat Nintendo as far as consoles go. Now, as far as games go, they're probably a little bit behind, as they don't do PC ports. So... because I promise you, Breath of the Wild would kill on a laptop. Breath of the Wild would demolish on a laptop. Messed up my long list of mods. Yep. I still don't think Connie looks angry enough, and it's pissing me off, oddly enough. Yep, and that was probably an attempt to regulate the mods, because some of the mods that have gotten out, especially through Nexus, are, not good. It's not that they're not good, actually, that some of them, you know, it's Nexus. It's probably because of the motion blur. Anonymous. Motion blur does make some people motion sick. Most games have the ability to turn it off. I don't think Breath of the Wild does, though. It is a bit too old. Now, I don't know about Spyro. I have never played Spyro. But no, I don't think Breath of the Wild... I don't think you can turn motion blur off on Breath of the Wild. Okay, let's cut off Connie's chin and see how much that fucks up the picture. A lot. Fucks up the picture a lot. Okay. Okay, so let's do some... Connie's a big dude, so his neck is around... His neck is, like, here? No, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. Oh, the Sonic drowning theme. It will always be the Sonic drowning theme to me. Scared the shit out of me as a child. And I won't even lie, when they played, like, the orchestral version of it, in the, when they played the orchestral version of it in the Sonic movie, I even still got, like, the skin pricklies. I've actually never played Pikmin. You know, sometimes I think I get confused trying to demonstrate how much of a fucking unit how much of a fucking unit, like, Connie is. Because he's a big dude now. He's not very tall, but I based him off of Sammo Hung. I based him off of Sammo Hung. So, Connie... Let me see if I can show you. Trying to see if I can show you, like, a good picture of him from, like, a good full body picture. I'm seeing a lot of headshots. Actually, I'm gonna do this one. That was from Martial Law. I don't know if anybody remembers that defunct show. It lasted for 1 season. But Connie is supposed to look like this, as far as body type goes. So I get kind of caught up trying to demonstrate how much, because, like, yeah, Sammo Hung is known for his, like, sort of his wide physique, but people have attested that regardless, he is like 150, he is like 250 pounds of nothing but muscle. Like, he might have a belly here and there, he's a big dude, but you cannot punch this guy. Like, it's impossible. Didn't it also have Kelly Hu? I actually don't remember. Kelly Hu... martial law. Yeah, you're right! Yeah, it did. I see her with her... Oh, her very curly hair. Oh, bless. Oh, bless. Ooh. Ooh, that hairpiece is crying out for help. Oh, my. Oh, my. I hear its cries of pain in my ear. Let me show you. Let me show you how this... Hang on, let me make her picture bigger. Cause, like, oh, you can't see it, hang on. But, like, this is not a woman with naturally wavy hair. I don't know if you can tell, but it's her natural hair is here, and then her hair is in a ponytail that is just really badly crimped. Like, on the sides, that's her natural hair. That ponytail is by no means natural. We love curly hair, yes we do, but, these extensions do not love her. Those extensions are not loving her. Kelly Hu is not someone who had, naturally curly hair. Didn't she date Arsenio Hall for a while? I don't remember. Ooh, she aged like a fine wine, though. She looks beautiful. Oh! She's in East New York. Okay. Yeah, yeah, it's just, it's not... So, well, really quick, Anonymous, if you're not comfortable telling me how old you are, just tell me the year you were in 5th grade. And that's all you have to do. I'm not going to try and guess how old you are. If you're not comfortable telling me, just... Because, like, I can tell you that crimped hair in the late 90s. No. That's all I can tell you. Crimped hair in the late 90s. Even women with naturally wavy hair would try to get crimped hair. There was no such thing as crushing the hair to get that crimp. No one could do that. No one would do that. People with naturally wavy hair and naturally curly hair would straighten their hair and then get it crimped. This is actually a perfect example because this is a woman with textured hair. This is her natural hair. Let me see. Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks has naturally has 3C hair. Tyra Banks has 3C hair. And yet. What's another one? Like, oh, here's just an example of it. Yeah, it's just 2015, we were in 5th grade. Yeah, so this is a little before your time, but yeah. Instead of just letting her hair crimp naturally, because my hair is very textured. Like, I have 4C hair, thick 4C hair. If I were to braid my hair and just take it out without combing it, my hair is naturally crimped. But if you just took out a braid, if you braided your hair and then you took it out and just let it be, that would not be considered crimped. That would not be considered crimped. As a matter of fact, that was messy. So you would have these young girls getting their hair chemically relaxed and then getting it crimped. Because for some reason, letting your hair crimp naturally was not the thing to do. Even though it could have just as easily been. I see no reason why it couldn't have been, but you know, it's whatever. It's in the past, but it is a thing about the past that annoys me a lot. Those people tried to bring baby hairs back. Baby hairs were not a thing when I was growing up. They were considered essentially for old women. There's nothing to apologize for. Just figured I'd give you a fashion history lesson. That was oh no! Oh, I'm so sorry. Did you ever get the straightening comb? My mother did the straightening comb a lot when I was a kid. I hated that shit. The straightening comb terrified me. It's like, yes, please, put this thing that has been on the stove for an hour right by my naked ear. Awesome. No, it feels great. Thank you. Yeah, how my mom would do, like, curling irons and straightening irons is that ours didn't plug in. She would just put it on the stove and wait for it to get really hot. Yeah, I used to really hate getting my hair done, too. I'm a bit more acclimated to it now, but I had a huge problem with it when I was a kid. My mom theorizes that was probably because of sensory issues that they really didn't know about. I suppose there's some truth to that. Sorry, I'm looking up a reference. I'm sure you can hear me abusing my scroll wheel right now. Yeah, my whole thing was water in my ear. Like, water in my ear used to send me up the wall. And like I said, my mom theorized that we just had sensory issues that I didn't know about, because, you know, back in the day, that really wasn't a thing. Or it wasn't a thing that people knew about. Let's put it that way. Katrina's probably just chilling. I used to have a bit of curly hair as a baby, and then they straightened out the top, curl the bottom. Very loose. Went from 3A to 2B, according to the list I use. Ah, no, see, I have very thick 4C hair. At least on the top. In the back of my head, my hair has grown in straight, because I was taking some medication that messed with it. That kind of messed with the texture of my hair. I think I figured out the problem. Connie's jaw is a bit too shallow. Yeah, I think that was the problem. Yeah, my bestie started dyeing her hair pretty early too. She stopped eventually. I think it was because the guy she was dating, who eventually became her husband, was like, "I kind of like the gray hair. I think it makes you look kind of mysterious." And she was like, "Oh, really now?" And, you know, as time marches on, that bestie will be my maid of honor. I cannot get this man's neck right to save my life. It's bothering me. Like, it's bothering me. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm actually going to take a small break. I am going to go use the bathroom. And I'll be back in a minute. Alright, I hath returned. I just had to use the bathroom. We're gonna keep our cool, and then we are going to look at side profiles. Let's see. Okay, that helps, actually. he is bending down, so his jacket would be doing this, actually. Weird question. Does anybody remember the Bump It? For some reason, the girls in my college really loved that. And I never figured it out, because my hair doesn't do that. I'm black, so my hair is very, very thick. I got that thick textured hair. I used to get it chemically relaxed. I do not do that anymore. One, because it's expensive, and two, because it actually leaves chemical burns on your scalp. Like, back in the day, that was definitely considered, like, just the price of, like, beauty or whatever. But then that documentary came out, and everyone was like, ooh. Never been close. Unless your curls are really, really, really tight, you probably have 3C hair. Because, I'll be honest, 4C is actually quite rare because I don't even have 4C all the way through my head. The back of my head is more like 2C. That might be because of the medication, but it's still different. That's gonna bother me, and I don't know how to fix it. So, we're just gonna... It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. That's the thing. It doesn't have to... Things don't have to be perfect. They just have to be done. I need to remember that. But yeah, actually, you guys can see my natural hair, like, I know normally in my videos my hair is braided, or I have a hat on, because I used to be just stark bald. You can actually see, in my latest video, how my hair looks now, like, almost completely unaltered. All I did was comb it out. But yeah, during COVID I had to shave my head bald, because my hair was falling out. And super honestly, didn't feel like going to a hairdresser to get it fixed. Not during COVID. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of the hairdressers in this area suck. Like, they're incredibly rude. They're incredibly rude, and they charge you a ton of money for, like, little stuff. Now, the last people who did my hair were super chill. Like, she was really nice. She was just clearly sick of her boss. It was giving very cool 70s vibes. Thank you. I've been told... Aw, thanks. I wish Skate the Infinity Part 2 could have been on YouTube, but no matter what version I upload, they ban it from showing up, and then they email me with, Aniplex emails me with a threat for another copyright strike, so. It'll just have to be a Patreon video, unfortunately. Oh wait, no. Not that much of his arm is showing. Just this much. so if his arm is back here, then his arm is really not showing at all. This looks right. Aw, yeah, thank you. The menu video really got me out there, apparently. Because most people who come to the streams saw me, started watching me when I was on my menu video. You weren't here for the last stream. But I went to bed thinking that video was going to be a complete flop. But Europe really came through. Excuse me. Choked on a little bit of orange pith. Oh, you know what might help with Connie looking so mad? Not looking mad enough? If I drew his eyebrows like this. I feel like that did not work as well as I had hoped. Also, you're the person who acted exactly as angry as I was. Yeah, I wasn't too fond of anyone in that. Here's the thing. If you are writing a story and I feel more attached to the lawyer and the cop, then you know, listen. Also, the addition of Tyler Perry was so random to me. Like, there are a couple of things that I am not... that the more I think about that movie, the more I'm like, Jesus. Because, like... The more I think about it, the more I'm like, who thought of casting? Hey, Moon! It honestly looks okay. Okay, thank you. Moon is an OG around these parts. Yeah, that gives... You and Kenny JD both have beef with Tyler Perry. Listen, my thing with Tyler Perry is that when he said that, like, my movies aren't for, in his words, Sedity black folk. I was like, okay, so are you saying that poor people don't deserve quality? Like, what are you saying exactly, sir? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And so, like, honestly, I'm not even that mad at him. I just want him to hire a different writer. That's all I need. It's like, he just needs to hire, like, maybe 1 or 2 in-house writers that aren't his actors. You know? Like, I need him to do something else. Yeah, that's the thing. And it, like, a lot of people were like, okay, Mr. Perry, what are you trying to say? Do we not deserve, like, quality? Do we not deserve effort? What do you mean? Like, and, like, I know he was trying to come off as, like, an I'm for the people, but the people were pretty insulted. I'm just saying. Like, bro, dude, you are one of 3. Like, you are one in a group of 3 actually self-made people. Like, hire a different writer. Just one. I'm not even asking, like, I don't even know why something like a strange loop exists. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. It's so... Saying something like that feels exploitative. It really does. It kind of feels like, well, they'll watch my shit just because my name's on it. And it's like, that's... Mr. Perry, that's not true. That's why your last 3 movies sucked ass. Like, A Fall from Grace, Mea Culpa, and Divorce in Black are not known for their quality. Although I will say, the opening scene... I will say the opening scene for Divorce in the Black is wild. I know Katrine has probably seen, the video. Oh, oops. These people may just pay it right back. Yeah. But, the opening scene to Divorce in the Black was, incredible. as in, like, incredibly campy, not necessarily good. They're at a funeral, and the antagonist's brother is being laid to rest. And during the During the funeral, this guy was a bad man. He was known for, like, starting fights and stealing things. And in front of this man's family, he goes, "Your brother is speaking to me right now from beyond the grave. And he wants to tell you that he is in hell." That he is burning right now, and that you all need to repent if you do not want to be in hell with him. Which is a wild thing to say, no matter how much you hate someone. And so, the mom, who is her own special kind of asshole, it gets up, and she's like, I'm gonna get she calls all of her sons she's like, "Take your brother out of this church." And they start picking up the casket, and she was like, "No, I don't want anything these people have given me." She starts taking off her clothes and is standing in the church in her unmentionable, I wouldn't even say unmentionables, but in her bra and her slip, saying that, "I want you to take him out of that casket." So they take the man's body out of the casket, walk it out of the church, drive it down the street, and bury him in their backyard. I shit you not, that is how the movie starts. And it goes downhill from there, because, like, a story like that, you would think it sounds mildly interesting, or at least campy, but no. Because it's a Tyler Perry movie, it has to be about it has to be about a black woman having a terrible marriage. It has to be. Like, there's no other, he can't write about anything else. Like I said, the story, listen, like, yeah. And Moon, you're an OG on this channel, so you know I've been to some wild funerals. I don't know if you guys have seen my TikTok. I was not at this funeral, but, this was a funeral that, my father attended when he was but a young lad. That there was, for the sake of the innocent, we'll say that there was this woman named Abigail. Abigail was a bit of a free spirit. And my dad dated Abigail before he started dating my mom, which I believe was his senior year of high school. And Abigail was definitely a free spirit. Is he sort of making it tropey, or is it like a fixation he has? Both. Honestly, Katrine, both. Because if you know anything about Tyler Perry, it is something that it played a big role in his past. But she was a bit of a free spirit. And she broke up with my dad when she graduated out of high school. And so, she ended up dating this one young man who proposed to her right after, this is small town Alabama, so, he proposed to her right out of high school, and she accepted, and he was a very well-known young man in town. And, then, suddenly, she started getting really, really close to the church's assistant pastor. And the church's assistant pastor was an odd man. He was a free spirit himself, very much a flower child, and everything that entails. Which I think my dad was insinuating that he smoked a lot of weed. And everyone just kind of knew, but he was like the pastor's protege, so no one really mentioned it. They started their own little affair. But unfortunately, they were under the influence one day, and they got into a terrible car accident. He was badly wounded, and she was DOA, unfortunately. Um, During her funeral, however, he was chosen to, given that he, not her husband at the time, was chosen to give the eulogy because they were, and I quote, siblings in Christ. Knowing of the affair, the day of his wife's funeral, Abigail's husband stood up in the middle of the eulogy and shot the man twice in the chest, which he survived. I did not believe this story, because I thought it was just an exaggerated story that my father told me from his childhood. But after my grandfather's funeral, I was talking to the Reverend because he's getting ready to retire. He's getting really up there in age. Yeah. Because he was really getting up there in age, and he was talking about retiring, and I was like, well, you married my parents, and I told him, I was like, Dad always tells me that story about how that guy got shot in church. He's like, oh, that's true. I was like, excuse me? He's like, yeah, that's absolutely true. So he went to where the pulpit had been like done and redone a couple times, because this happened like in the early 80s. And since then, I mean, this was 2015, 2016. No, it was 2017, because I had already graduated out of school for a year. And he peeled back the rug and he showed me the bullet hole where one of the bullets missed. But as far as I know, according to my father, that man is still alive today. He no longer lives in my parents' hometown, obviously. The man that shot him served some jail time, but since he didn't kill him, I think it was only for aggravated assault and battery. He now lives in, I want to say, Iowa. But yeah. There were several other, I have been privy to some pretty wild events, because here's the thing. Living in a really small town in the middle of the country, lots of things that happen that are stranger than fiction that you can't really tell anybody that lives outside of that area. Moon, I'm almost positive I've told you that story before. But there is, like, I don't know how to describe it. There is a type of absurdity that happens when you living in a place like that. Things you find out about people, things you know about people but just don't say out loud. It's not even the elephant in the room. It's just like the background radiation of life. Like, you'll see a group of people sitting together, and your grandmother or your aunt, or in my case, my aunt, who has lived in that town for years and knows everything and everybody, they'll be like, oh yeah, the reason why they're sitting together is because all three of them had an affair and they can't legally get married. Or so be like, oh yeah, these people sitting right here, oh yeah, he's absolutely killed someone. He's just never faced jail time or arrest because of it, because the guy was like really, really shitty. Like, he killed someone that everyone hated, so they just kind of dropped it. Yeah. Like, when I go to my uncle's house, my aunt tells me all the tea. Like, she'll lock arms with me and she'll be like, well. And to her credit, she's in her 80s at this point. She's still doing pretty good. I do worry about her living alone, but right now she's doing pretty good. My dad has 8 other brothers and sisters. And my mom has 5. So when there are family gatherings, they are big. Like, my wedding is shaping up to be pretty big. And we're literally only inviting the essential people. And it's not like I can just be like, oh, you can't come, because these are all people that I talk to, like, regularly. Like, you know, I know people have aunts and uncles that they don't really talk to or interact with, like, maybe they're pretty distant, but almost all of my aunts and uncles I speak to on a regular basis. Now, I do have way too many cousins. I will say that. I have so many cousins that it's very hard to keep. I can really only keep in touch with the first cousins. The second cousins, I'll see you at the family reunion, you know? He actually really does look like Goliath here, like, low-key. Finish my drawing. Oh, fun! Hey, how's it looking? Looking good? Yeah, now they are not looking at each other. Hold up. Let me erase Connie's. See, now I have to go back because I don't remember the original position. I'm sure you hear me abusing my undo button. Because I don't remember the original angle. You know what? That'll work. This'll work. I'm gonna leave it alone. There are just some things that I need to go over. Like this right here. Make that nostril a little more pronounced. If someone's like, what happened to his nostril? I'll be like, it's stylized. Shut up. That'll be my response. It's stylized. Fun fact, Anonymous. I used to be Columbia in Rocky Horror. Well, I was Columbia in Rocky Horror for a year. Otherwise, I was just one of the background Transylvanians. But yeah, I was Columbia for a year. It was a lot of fun. Before I was a cook, I was a theater kid. There are not a lot of pictures of that time, unfortunately. I was not at my healthiest, and I was not leading a very healthy lifestyle. So if there are pictures that exist, I have not looked at them. Did you do the tap dance? Yes, I did. Tap was really the only form of dance I really excelled in. Mostly because it didn't involve not double entendres. What's the ballet move? It didn't require me to do ballet. Me and ballet were in strife. Like, me and ballet we were not on good wavelengths. But yeah, Gregory Hines was actually one of the reasons I became a theater kid. I'd want to dress up as Magenta for Rocky Horror, but I would also like to be Dr. Stein. Point? I don't know if that's the word. I was thinking for a specific ballet move. But it was kind of a rough time. Mostly because I was young and I wasn't leading a very healthy lifestyle. And I was hanging out with a lot of people who, who didn't value me as a person. Let's put it that way. And so I just kind of did away with my theater kid ways eventually. I think I didn't entirely, because I still do lots of singing and voice acting, but there we go. Just adding some texture to his jacket here. Nah, I don't like it. We'll just leave it as is. I don't know what I'm doing for Halloween. I'm not a big fan of holidays. I have this big thing about routine, and sometimes when my routine is broken, I start getting a little stir-crazy. And so, to me, sometimes, holidays can be seen as breaking my routine. You know what I mean? But, I don't know what I want to do for Halloween. I mean, I could pull out one of my cosplays, but, I'm gonna be honest, my cosplays smell gross right now. And I've already washed them once, and they smell so gross. They smell like a lot of sweat. They smell like a lot of sweat and, a lot of beer. And it's not... It's just... It smells funny. And the smell won't come out, which is the wild thing. So, I think... I don't know. Maybe I'll make, like, a nice witch hat or something. Because I do have some friends who do occasionally throw, a Christmas party every now and again. Alright. Couple more things I need to add to Connie's face, and then I'm done. Which is the eye bags. Because Connie doesn't sleep. What? Make Nathan a little less sketchy. And then I think we actually might be... Doesn't have any fabric. So, honestly, in my experience, because I'm not a hardcore cosplayer. I like making things. And cosplay just happens to be on the list. Honestly, once you learn your way around a sewing machine, the rest will just fill itself in. Like, truly. Like, with things like crochet and sewing, once you get that one thing down, you really start understanding, like, once you have that basic understanding, you can do just about anything. Now, as far as, like, the really complicated stuff, of course there are, like, some caveats, especially if you're working with like a famously hard fabric or something like that. But yeah, it took me a while to learn how to sew, to learn how to crochet, but once I understood some very important facets of it, like for instance, patience, because that's something, that's one of the things that I very much had to work on, especially as an adult. What do you mean you can't do everything perfectly the first time? What do you mean? Once you master that, a lot of things start falling into place. Like, it took me months. It took me months to learn a magic circle for crochet. But once I figured it out, then I was like, oh, so that's how you do X and X. I get it now. But it usually takes a while to master, like, that one thing. You could probably buy Aerith, too. You would just have to make sure that the straps are secure. One thing, like, store-bought cosplayers love to do is, when you have straps, they're pretty much made, out of dental floss. Like, straight-up dental floss. I'm being sarcastic. It's not actual dental floss, but, they're awful. More often than not. So be careful when buying something with straps like that. Some parts can look sketchy, but I would prefer some parts didn't. Patience is a pretty consistent approach to any new skill. Yeah. Yep. I learned it by force when I was in culinary school. Because when one of the first things you have to do is make a tourné potato, you learn that patience is important really, really quick, or you're not going to have any fingers. Simply put. So yeah, patience is a big thing when learning a new skill. But yeah, it took me forever to learn like certain aspects of crocheting and sewing, especially sewing. As a matter of fact, I ended up asking for another sewing machine. Because the sewing machine that I was gifted was actually not something that beginners should use. Okay. Let's draw Connie's scars. Cooking is fun. You just have to pay attention. Okay. Actually, no, I don't think I want Connie's ear scar there. I think I want it here. Because he has a pretty bad scar on his ear. From where he got whacked in the head with something as a kid. For reasons I can't say on YouTube. Maybe if this ever becomes like a series of some kind, I can tell you exactly how he got that scar, but that involves some words I can't say on YouTube. But let's just say he was protecting his mother from a very bad man, and he took care of business. By force. That man is no longer with us. Or no longer with them at the beginning of this story. And he was only like 14 years old. So. Dinner omelet, breakfast, potatoes. Casserole is great. Potatoes. Yeah, potatoes. Here's the thing about potatoes is that it's all hinged on how much or how little you boil them. So with, like, I remember tournay potatoes specifically, it was like you can't boil them too much. You had to time them perfectly. Alright, honestly, I think this is solid. Like, I think this is a solid comic. You have Nate cowering in front of his brother, who he's never actually looked up at before. I'm gonna give him a tongue, because he needs a tongue. Who he's never actually looked up at before, because technically, Connie is taller than him. No, technically he is taller than Connie. But, yeah, it's just, he's having a bad... Potatoes are a lot like eggs. In that instance. Oh, okay, that does me. That does me. That's all I needed to do. Oh, that actually makes me feel so much better. Hell yeah. Okay. I probably need to get rid of his arm, because this is very close. Okay, so you have Nate looking up at Connie for the first time ever. And feeling actual, genuine fear. He has always been a little bit afraid of what his brother is capable of. But this is the first time he's actually seen that his infamous, temperament being used on him. As a matter of fact, I would say this is probably the first time Connie has ever lost his temper. This is probably the first time Connie has legitimately lost his temper. And what's sad is that he will eventually feel bad about this. He and Maria are drinking one day, and he admits that he had every intention to apologize for what's going on in this comic. Because he knows his brother is a little bit paranoid. And so he's like, I don't want him to, like, lose his shit over this. He's going to, he's going to do something that he regrets. He's going to do something that I'll regret. And, he just has no idea how bad it's actually going to get. I'm not sure if this is necessarily Whump, but I'm proud of it. There are some things that need work, of course, but I'm thinking about going over them with a thicker pen. I need to straighten out my back a little. Oh, jeez. I straightened my back and then... Bakano. Yeah, kinda. Bakano is one of my husband's favorite animes. Thank you, Katrine. And thank you, Anonymous. I am gonna go over the bottom panel with a slightly thicker pen. So let's go to 4. Let's shave some things. Just make the eraser a little bit smaller. Just to make it a little less sketchy. So, other fun facts. Your husband has great tastes. Yeah, he really loves Bakano. He watched all of Dragon Ball Z. We were watching My Hero Academia the other once, but then it sort of just fell out of my interest because I stopped getting into shonen. He really loved Horimiya and Horimiya Vinland Saga. Horimiya, we both enjoyed it so much that it actually made me realize that I was ready for us to be married. Like, maybe the month of my wedding I'll make that video, but Horimiya actually made me realize that I was like, I want this man to be my husband. And that is why some facets of media are important. Because it helps us sort out and come and really think about our feelings. Fruits Basket was a really big deal back in the day. I never got around to watching it, unfortunately. I read some of it, because I was really into manga, because I didn't have cable, or the ability to buy anime DVDs. But, okay, I think I'm good with this. I think I am going to make the pupils in this one smaller. Although... yeah, we're gonna make them smaller. Because he is mad. Like... But one of the reasons Connie is so mad is because everything Connie does... I just hope I'm not being too annoying. You're not. You're not. Not at all. I'm keeping chat going, which is awesome. And plus, if you were, I would tell you straight up, because Moon can tell you that I don't pull punches when it comes to that stuff. If I see someone in chat that I don't like, I usually jettison them immediately. Except for that one time while we were playing Persona 5, and YouTube would literally not let me ban him. I still don't know what happened that day. It was so weird. Oh, whoops. You know what I should be doing? Using the symmetry tool for this? Oh, wait. Wait, the music ended. Hang on. Hang on! Hang on! No, wait, hang on. No, Kamala, not yet. Not on the stream. I tried going back and it immediately went into a friggin' advertisement. No! Spotify, no! Spotify, stop! Okay. Good God. Sorry, the music switched to a different it switched to, like, a stream. Okay, so now... I'm just, honestly, just trying to make things look a bit less sketchy. So let's do the same to his coat in this picture. And his ugly-ass turtleneck. Yeah, the style in this particular story is very 90s. Yeah, so do I. I like talking about that kind of stuff, too. But yeah, Spotify and, let's hope the future president, really just tried to, get my stream copyright struck. Not actually, but, like, the music that is used in a lot of political ads is not copyright free. Fun fact, my father was offered a spot at the DNC, and he declined. Because he does not like Chicago. He declined because he was like, I don't want to go to Chicago in the middle of the winter. I hate Chicago. This was a mistake. Hang on. Let's hit the undo button. I think I only want... Yeah, I think we only want that here. There we go. A skeleton reaper named Ichabod. Ooh, I do love me some skeletons. I do love me some skeletons. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I love skulls. Okay, so... I have no idea how I'm gonna color this. Truly and genuinely. Let's worry about the speech bubbles first. Let's do... black. Let's do white. And black. That's green. Oh, Jesus. Okay. And black. And then we're gonna do a round balloon. I kind of don't want to do a round balloon for the way he's talking. This is it's rough edge. Let's do waved line because he's just... I mean, honestly, like, super honestly, Nate is just kind of a punk ass. I actually want that line to be thicker. Is there any way I can get this to be thicker? Brush size, can we do 8? Yeah, let's do that. Now, do I put it here? Or here? I think a person's eye would be drawn here. And then... I'm glad I came in today. I'm glad to have you. You've been so kind and sweet. And very complimentary. So thank you. Now, what text am I looking for? Font. Oh, good gravy. We'll just leave the Clip Studio comic font because everybody can read that. Let's see how this fits. Which character in Zelda has the best design? Midna. They managed to somehow make her cute and threatening all at the same time. Cute but unsettling at the same time, and yet still somehow endearing. So I'd say Midna. I would also say Majora's Mask is a really good design too, because it's very memorable. A bit nonsensical, but very memorable. Actually, let's tilt this. I feel like it gives it... Dot, dot, dot. Exclamation point. I feel like tilting it makes it look like he's wavering. But, and I mean Midna's imp form, by the way. I mean Midna's imp form. Like, her full body form is beautiful, yes, but I really do like the imp form. Because you can tell that even... The thing about Midna is that you can tell that even though she's cursed, even though she has kind of a bad attitude, that she carries herself regally. Because every time she comes into her form, her back is always straight and her arms are very daintily at her sides. And when she rides on Link's back as an imp, she is still like, she's not going equestrian, but she is sitting in the way that isn't the most comfortable, but a way that is the most dignified. Like, at some point she does ride side saddle. Ooh, a clay sculpture of the Deku Princess. That must have taken some work, because the Deku Princess is very intricate. You know what? I think I'm going to worry about the text later. Let me just put in the shadows. I don't quite know how I'm going to do that, but... Let's just do another roster layer because I don't know what else to do. Let's go to... Multiply. Let's label this so I know what it is. Shadow. And then about 50%, maybe even 60. We're gonna go under the initial drawing layer and hit fill, because they are outside. It took one day, if I remember. I just wanted her on my desk. You know what? Valid. Actually, ooh, the husband will be coming back with, the husband will be coming back with chicken strips in tow. So I may or may not cook tonight. I don't know. Normally I like to. And I did yesterday, but... Sorry, I'm cooking things in my brain. So... BG... That's not how you spell that, but whatever. Because there's one thing I wanted to do, which was this. Or this. But I don't know how to do that without running through these panels here. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused. Felt the same with my SC. Brought one with blank photos on the other one. Art contest, yeah, never used. So, listen, sometimes, you just need a job. Sometimes, you just need a blorbo on your desk. That didn't help. Okay, now I'm officially confused. Hang on, give me a moment. I'm gonna figure this out. Because I want the panels to be visible. Oh, what the hell? Okay, let's get rid of that. I want to be able to put this in, but I don't quite know how to do that with the panels. Oh, wait a second. Okay, I think I did it bad. Give me just a second, guys. Nope, nope, don't do that. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I think I figured something out. Or did I? Did I not? Nope, I think it just made things worse. Are one of those characters Artemis by any chance, man?
Shopify helps you.
Whoa. Nope. No Shopify. No Shopify. Stop. No. Shopify, stop. Sorry. We were doing well up until that moment. Sorry if I was very loud. That took me by surprise just as much as it took you guys by surprise. Okay, let's see if we can skip this ad. Yes, we can. Okay, cool. Jesus. Unfortunately, I can't turn those off, even when I say no to monetization. Unfortunately, Anonymous. I have clicked no, and it'll tell me that people are getting ads anyway. I skip them as much as I possibly can. Either Hellfire or In the Dark of the Night from Anastasia. Balls. I don't know how I'm gonna get this to work. You know what? I'm probably just gonna look that up. It's almost 5 o'clock anyway. I've been going at this for a solid 3.5 hours. And I think I need to get up, take a walk, pet the cat, and I think the husband has returned home with, chicken tenders in tow. So, I think I'm gonna call it here. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Next week should be another long-form video. I don't see anything holding it up, so we should still be cool. Next month is going to be Nerdy Prudes. Nerdy Prudes Must Die. And once again, I'll talk about my troubled theater kid past at that point too. But yeah, we should still be on schedule for everything. This month is a Zelda video, so that should be fun. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And thank you all for being here and cutting it up in chat, and thank you guys for providing nice feedback on the comic. Yeah, stay weird, lovelies. Happy eating, do no harm, take no shit, all that good stuff. See you later.